More information on the indictment of the former Quapaw Nation chairman. And it's the first 420 since the opening of dispensaries in Missouri. We'll hear from patients and from law enforcement about how things have changed.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
It's been a chilly day and it's only going to get colder. This is KOAM News at 6. We go straight to Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy.
Yeah, Dow, snow for us today. Most of us picked up light to moderate snow at times, and it did accumulate a little bit when it came down at a pretty good clip, and then it melted as fast as it came in. But now this storm system is moving out of here, but behind it we have the cold temperature, so we have freeze warnings in effect for the entire viewing area as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. Still, we have the clouds in place, a little bit of sunshine out across our western counties, and on the backside we are seeing a few random little showers. You can see the band of snow moving out, and then some spotty showers mixed in with a little bit of sleet still sticking around at least for the next couple hours, and then everything will clear out later on tonight. Temperatures mainly into lower 40s at this point in time, but we're going to continue to drop off through the 30s down into the 20s as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. So pretty hard freeze across the region, which we never need this time of the year. But good news here now is we are going to start to warm things back up and severe weather back into the forecast. Not good news there, but we're going to discuss that here in just a bit.
All right, we'll catch you in a few. Thanks, Doug. The verdict is in. A Minneapolis jury has found former police officer Derek Chauvin guilty in the death of George Floyd.
We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to count 1, unintentional second-degree murder while committing a felony, find the defendant guilty.
Guilty on all 3 counts: second-degree unintentional murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. The verdict came only a day after the case went to the jury. The verdict was met with celebration in the streets of Minneapolis and across the country. This is video from George Floyd Square when Floyd died. A crowd chanted, "One down, 3 to go," in reference to the 3 other fired Minneapolis police officers facing trial in August on charges of aiding and abetting murder in Floyd's death. Chauvin is set to be sentenced in 2 months. Brings us to today's KOAM News Now Instapoll. The question is, do you believe justice was served in the Chauvin trial? You can give your opinion at KOAMnewsnow.com/vote or through the KOAM News Now mobile app. We also invite you to go to our Facebook page to leave additional thoughts. We have more details on the charges filed by the Quapaw Nation against former Chairman John Berry and former Secretary-Treasurer Tamara Smiley Reeves. KOAM's Chris Warner joins us from our newsroom now with the latest.
Well, on Monday, we brought you the list of charges and allegations made by the Quapaw Nation against former Chairman John Berry and former Secretary-Treasurer Tamara Smiley Reeves. Today, we're taking a closer look at the charges against Mr. Berry and the others alleged to be involved. One of the charges is embezzlement. It alleges Berry took $1.5 million broken up into a series of monthly installments from the Saracen Casino Resort and Q Store and claimed they were success fees as bonus payments. Another of the notable charges is conspiracy. There are 2 counts of conspiracy in the court documents, count 2 and count 5. Count 2 alleges that Berry conspired with Merlin Jones, then the CFO of Downstream and Saracen Casinos, and a consultant, Alan Mock, to embezzle funds from the casinos totaling just over $1.3 million. Those funds were issued as checks to John Berry, Jack Brill, Tamara Smiley Reeves, Merlin Jones, and Janet Cummings. The Quapaw Nation alleges that Berry then directed Mock to deposit 3 checks totaling more than $500,000 into a personal bank account owned by Berry. The other conspiracy charge, count 5, alleges that Berry worked with Merlin Jones, Jack Brill, and Tamara Smiley Reeves to embezzle more than $4 million from Downstream and Saracen Casinos as success fees or bonus payments. Those payments were allegedly made to John Berry, Jack Brill, Tamara Smiley Reeves, Merlin Jones, and Janet Cummings. There's also a civil case filed by the Quapaw Nation against Berry, Smiley Reeves, and 7 others. They include Jack Brill, Janet Cummings, George McWaters, Marilyn Rogers, Sherry Smiley, Tina Smith, and the heirs of Merlin Jones Jr. Jones passed away earlier this month. Those charges include fraud, constructive fraud, conversion, and unjust enrichment. Now, we reached out for an interview with John Berry today, and while our request was declined, John Berry's spokesperson told us that Berry and the others named in the indictments have filed a defamation suit against Michael Crump with Innovative Gaming Solutions, which conducted the audit that ultimately led to the charges, as well as current Secretary-Treasurer Guy Barker and current Chairman Joseph Byrd. That suit was filed in February in Cleveland County, Oklahoma District Court. A motion to dismiss filed by the defendants has been scheduled to be heard on April 26th.
All right, Chris Warner. Thanks, Chris. Today, 420 in cannabis culture is considered a sort of holiday when people celebrate and consume cannabis. It's the first time the date has rolled around since dispensaries opened in southwest Missouri. KOAM's Zach Dodge has how big the date is and how law enforcement is responding.
A big deal for many in southwest Missouri, even as snow and sleet tried to rain on the parade. What used to serve as a day of rebellion, 420 has turned into a day of celebration in Missouri.
I think this is great. This is huge for Missouri, for people who need it.
Flora Farms in Neosho was full of patients, celebrating the fact that they can legally purchase marijuana in the state. And in Joplin, Shango Dispensary opened their doors on what they thought was the perfect day for it.
Kind of a industry holiday, right? So it's great to have that time to open on.
Missouri-made marijuana has been open for almost a month, but reserved their grand opening for the holiday.
It's just been something that the cannabis culture has adopted, and we really run with it. We really inherit the culture, and just 420 is 420. You know, it's time to get medicated.
And that culture has gained steam in the mainstream.
If you feel different, you drive different. Drive high, get a DUI.
According to the Missouri Coalition for Highway Safety, in 2020, there were 89 people killed and 180 people seriously injured in crashes that involved a drug-impaired driver. The Missouri Highway Patrol is increasing traffic enforcement, and Joplin Police Department is increasing their own awareness.
Our number of DUI arrests in the last several years have increased, and so we're seeing that uptick. But so we're just asking the public to just make smart decisions and be safe.
In Joplin, Zach Dodge, KOAM News.
Joplin Police Department says they made 334 DUI arrests in 2020. That includes people driving under the influence of alcohol and other drugs. Still ahead, Oklahoma lawmakers advanced legislation that would ban transgender athletes from participating in women's sports. Why opponents worry it could hurt the state's economy. And Mercy Hospital shows its gratitude for hospital volunteers. Missouri's health director has resigned. Governor Mike Parson today announced the departure of Department of Health and Senior Services Director Dr. Randall Williams. Williams was appointed to the job in 2017 by Parson's predecessor, former Governor Eric Greitens. Williams helped lead the state's response to the coronavirus pandemic and is leaving amid the vaccine rollout. Parson says he's naming his Deputy Chief of Staff, Robert Nodell, to be the state's acting health director. The Republican-led Oklahoma House has passed a bill to ban transgender athletes from participating in women's sports. The vote sends the bill to the GOP-controlled Senate, which failed to consider a similar bill earlier this session. Opponents raised concerns the bill could lead to the NCAA pulling some championship games from Oklahoma. The Women's College Softball World Series is held in Oklahoma City, generating more than $20 million annually. This is National Volunteer Week, and Mercy Hospital Joplin is taking time to recognize and honor their many volunteers. Mercy Joplin volunteers gave more than 2,500 hours last month. Today's celebration included cake and special thank you cards.
It's almost like a marriage. You know, we come in here and we love to volunteer, we love the people, we love to interact with all people. And when they give us a little thank you like this, it's more than we ever expected.
Mercy volunteers today were also invited to invite their friends to volunteer at the hospital. Later, for the first time in more than 30 years, the Missouri State football team is headed to the playoffs, and they're bringing a local player.
Plus, it looks like a hard freeze for us tonight. When are we going to warm up? We're going to look at that coming up. Well, of course, we got the snow mixed in with some rain during the morning hours. Really picked up about 8 o'clock this morning and then all the way to about 1 o'clock. When it was snowing lightly, it was melting on impact. But when it picked up and we got those moderate to heavy bands, we would get accumulation for a little bit, and then of course it would melt off. But at one time, at least in the Joplin area, we had about 3/4 of an inch, of course, quickly melted. But for the season, over 19 inches, average is 12. Forecast was 15. Last year, we only had 9.5 inches of snow. So this past winter season, we over doubled what we had in the 2019-2020 year. We are done with snow, at least for this season, which is good news. But look at our temperature change over the past 24 hours. Most of us 25 upwards to 30 degrees colder across the region right now. Temperatures are sitting into the lower 40s. Then you got mid to upper 40s in our western counties where a little bit of sunshine over the past couple hours. But you can see the entire Central Plains, everybody dealing with cooler temperatures over the past day or so. And cold night ahead. And then we'll start to moderate these temperatures just a bit over the next couple days. But you can see a little bit of sunshine here at the station, which is nice to see. Sitting at 43, north winds 5 to 10, humidity is at 62%. Through the evening hours, we'll slide back through the 40s, 30s, eventually down into the mid to upper 20s later on tonight. So a pretty hard freeze. That's why we have freeze warnings in effect. Of course, when you're this deep into the spring, you never really want to see hard freezes. We get them a lot in mid to late April, and we're going to get another one tonight, but the entire viewing area under a freeze warning in effect. And then you can see the bands of snow we had through the morning hours, and then during the afternoon, these kind of spotty showers mixed in with a little bit of sleet. These are starting to taper off, and that's what we're going to see over the next couple hours. You can see the sunshine breaking out on the Kansas and the Oklahoma side, so we'll actually clear out a bit for us tonight as this storm system rotates off toward the east. Our next system, you can see it dipping down northern parts of California and Nevada. That will start to affect us in about 2 days and then last into the weekend. For us tonight, 26, 27 degrees for a low. We'll have partly cloudy skies tomorrow, at least warmer than what we were seeing today, still well below our average high. 27 to start, 50 by noon, high temp right around 55 during the afternoon. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy skies, mid-30s. We could still see a little bit of patchy frost. And then on Thursday, the clouds increase, and here come the showers, especially Thursday afternoon. This is with our next storm system. We get just good old rain on Friday, a few thunderstorms mixed in, lasting into Saturday morning. Then I think Saturday afternoon looks pretty good. Sunday looks great, mid-70s, plenty of sunshine. We'll push 80 by the time Monday rolls around. Then our next system rolls in on Tuesday. This is going to give us a pretty good shot for showers and thunderstorms, even possibly some severe weather by Tuesday afternoon into Tuesday evening. So this is the next system that we'll really keep our eyes on as we work into next week. 55 tomorrow. We'll start the day in the upper 20s. 35 tomorrow night, 57 on Thursday, 62 Friday with the rain. Morning showers Saturday. Sunday looks great. Monday looks great. Thunderstorms back in by Tuesday.
It's easy to forget we were in the 70s yesterday. Sub-freezing tonight, that's going to be a shock to a lot of plants.
Yeah, it really is. Of course, if you can, cover them up or bring them inside. And then once we get past tonight, we're looking pretty good.
Thanks, Doug. Coming up in sports, the Missouri State Bears are back in the football playoffs for the first time in 31 years. We're going to catch up with a local standout who helped the Bears snap their playoff drought. That's just ahead.
The Missouri State Bears are in the FCS football playoffs for the first time in 31 years. There are a few local guys on the Bears roster preparing for the big stage this weekend. We caught up with former Webb City Cardinal Landon Beebe to talk about snapping Missouri State's playoff drought and being back in the playoff picture.
Going from Webb City to Missouri State was a big change for Landon Beebe after claiming an undefeated state championship with the Cardinals in 2017.
We weren't winning games at all. My freshman year, we won 4, and then my sophomore year, we only won 1 game. So coming out of high school, we were winning every game we played, and coming here was just like complete culture change for me.
Now, Beebe is back on the big stage, with Missouri State making the postseason for the first time since 1990.
Having that mindset of win or go home, that's something I've been used to growing up. So I'm excited to play in this game. It's something that I've been dreaming about since I came to college, is have the opportunity to play in a playoff game.
Things at Missouri State turned around quickly when Bobby Petrino stepped in as head coach in January 2020.
The first thing he said was, we're going to take the rear view mirror, and we're just going to tear it off. We're not going to look behind us anymore. We're just going to focus on what's ahead of us from now on. We needed that because we were kind of in the mindset of losing. And ever since he came, he just changed the culture, like I said, into a winning culture.
Petrino led the Bears to a 5-1 league record and a Missouri Valley Conference championship this spring.
To get respect, you got to earn it. So I feel like we've really done a good job of just going out there and trying to earn the respect of the other teams in our conference.
BB and the Bears are taking an underdog mentality into their postseason opener. Having waited 3 years to get that playoff feeling again, the former Cardinal is ready to take advantage of the opportunity.
Now that it's here, I'm just ready to give it all I got and lay it all on the line.
Missouri State faces North Dakota at 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon in the first round. A little baseball action tonight in the majors. Royals and Cardinals both on the field. The Cardinals on the road for Game 2 against the Nationals. That one just getting started. Then later, the Royals aim to even their series against the Rays. KC dropped Game 1 4-1 last night. Tonight's game starts at 7:10. Now that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran, Staff Sergeant Neil Lamont. The Oronogo, Missouri native served in the U.S. Army. We are proud to salute Staff Sergeant Neil Lamont. He's tonight's four-state hero. Checking back in with the KOAM News Now Instapoll. The question is, do you believe justice was served in the Chauvin trial? 64% at this point say yes. You can give your opinion at KOAMnewsnow.com/vote or through the KOAM News Now mobile app. We also invite you to go to our Facebook page to leave additional thoughts. We're going to share some of those comments and have the final results of this poll tonight at 10. Jordan Abbey joins us now with a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14.
Tonight at 9, I'm going to have more details in reaction to today's verdict in the Derek Chauvin murder trial. Also, shopping is back in style, and we're going to check out what types of styles are catching people's eyes. Plus, California's plan for universal income. That and much more tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14.
Thanks, Jordan. Checking back with Doug. Tonight, you're going to want to throw an extra blanket on the bed, and if you can, do what you can to protect those plants.
Yeah, it's going to be on the cold side. We're going to drop back to about 27 degrees by morning, so we're going to have several hours that we are below freezing. Partly sunny skies for us tomorrow, 55. Still a little bit of patchy frost tomorrow night. Next system moves in on Thursday. Rain starts to increase. I don't think anything strong or severe out of this next system. Rain on Friday, showers into Saturday morning. Sunday and Monday look great, but a severe threat returns by next Tuesday.
Wow, quite a mix in that forecast. Thanks, Doug. And thank you for joining us. We'll see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. In the meantime, let's take care of ourselves and each other.